right there.
Because
now,
that
I've never been pregnant.
Or argument.
Excuse me. Why? Wait, hold on. Why is the why is the video unavailable? I refreshed the page. Excuse me. I refreshed the page. Excuse me, Mr. Indisputable, Indivisive. Name is. Why is the video private? You got something you want to tell me?
But again, you'll only have another 45 minutes until you have to dock the bike again to avoid the fee. So that's why when you look at this teen's receipt for the 46-minute trip, you'll see the 37-cent charge because he had the bike longer than the 45 minutes. He had it for 46 minutes and some change, so it came out to 37 cents extra on his account. So now this teen wanted to keep this same e-bike because obviously the e-bikes are more valuable and they're probably funner to ride. So he docks the bike at 7:19 to 7:24 p.m. because he wants the bike to reset and doesn't want to pay the additional fees. But now, here's the kicker. While the bike is docked, anyone can now come and rent out this bike. This bike is now available to the public. And CitiBike does this because it wants the bikes to always be available. So you can ride it for 45 minutes, you dock it, and if someone else gets it, then too bad for you. And that's essentially what happened.
Please help me.
This is not your bike.
Please help me.
This is not your bike. This is not your bike.
You can hear them constantly saying, this is not your bike, this is not your bike. But that's not accurate. It is her bike because it's 7:24, the light is on, the bike is undocked, and she has a receipt to show that the bike is on her account at that time. So they know, based on them using the bike, based on them having memberships, that this bike is hers. It is on her account at this time.
This is Tell the Truth once again. So I had a video in the vault ready to upload, but with some of the stuff that has come out over the last few days, I wanted to just go ahead and make a whole nother video just wrapping everything up, dealing with this entire CitiBike Karen situation. I just hate using the term Karen here because I don't think this was the typical Karen situation. There were some issues here that definitely need to be addressed though. So before I even break down the entire situation, yes, this was an entire situation of pure foolishness. This is a foolish situation that should have never been a main national issue. This should have never been brought to the national mainstream media. And honestly, it should have been a video that happened. We got information and we just left it at that and moved on. However, mainstream media has used this moment to dox this woman. And now she's going to get paid a pretty decent bag. So congratulations, media, you played yourself on that situation. Now let's go ahead and break down everything that has happened up until now. So I got a lot of my information here from Nate, the lawyer. Definitely go subscribe to him and go check out his video. He breaks down everything and even goes frame by frame showing you what happened. So first things first, the guy in this situation, I don't know his actual name. They use Michael as a pseudonym, whatever, but it is what it is. He had no legal right to tell anybody no that they couldn't use a bike. Based on the policy of CitiBike, if the bike is docked, anybody can use it. So they stopped to dock the bikes and were allegedly getting ready to leave again, even though they didn't leave for another 40 minutes. But when that lady came through, she had the right to the bike. There's issue number one. Issue number two is just the entire issue of her bucking even after they told him no. So yes, they had no right to tell her no, but at the same time, she didn't have to do all that. Now, granted, I do understand that these were issued over the e-bikes, which I believe, according to Nate, she wouldn't have had to pedal, and this woman is 6 months pregnant, so it would have been easier on her for her to get to her destination. So I kind of understand that issue. So this whole thing should have never came to that point. Was she weaponizing her whiteness? No. Pregnancy? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it came down to, oh, can you help out a pregnant lady? So with that, all of that, then you get down to where the video comes up and she has possession of the bike. The guy pushes the bike back into the dock, which then takes it out of her account, which he sneaks his account onto it as she's crying, which I was like, yo, this is absolutely petty. So if you watch that whole thing and then it shows the guy that says, hey, bro, just let her have the bike. It's not that deep. So shout out to that guy, because at the end of the video, he does give up his bike to the lady and so she can go home. Honestly, at that point, it should have been the end of the story. This should have never been put to social media. Nobody knows about it but the 6 of these people and the one guy that came around and helped. So it gets brought to social media, and then we see the whole thing of you have all these race hustlers wanting to make it a race issue. Ben Crump, Rashad Ritchie, and then now you have people like T. Nathan, who I have a whole history with, where he tried to basically call me a rocket raccoon for a whole situation that had nothing to do with race. I'll probably make a whole video on that later on. But even his sister, everybody's claiming that she's weaponizing her whiteness. And so you have that where everybody's making the bigger issue of it. And it should be over with, but it's not, because everybody wants to get their clicks and views off of it. Hi, me too. So what do I think about the situation all the way towards the end? Yes, there were some wrongs on all sides of the situation. The boy had no right to basically hoard the bike as he was waiting because of the policy that CitiBike has. Yes, the woman should have not bucked, or whatever you want to call it, and then she snatched the man's phone. She snatched the boy's phone, which should have never happened. So at the end of the day, why are we still talking about this? I just saw T. Nathan just did a whole interview with the sister. The mom was on talking about how her son could have got unalived, and I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go with this. Tell me what y'all think, man, because at the end of the day, this should have never been a national issue. We have other things to worry about, and y'all worry about this, Bud Light, and Target. What are we doing here? But that's all I got to say about it. Peace, love, pop stars. Always be drinking water. I'm out of here.
Motherfucker, I've been mortified, 45, feeling like a Mordecai. I ain't regular, feel like Jordan wearing 45. Traumatized, victimized, seen some of my die. Knock you off a base with a bat when them niggas slide. Homicide, genocide, televised, emphasize, perpetuating war. Tell that nigga he gon' pick a side. Hood ties from hood lines, now niggas doing dope lines. I'm running to the cops, that's a big